Hey guys, Helvonic Games here. I'm on Icarus in the Null Sector. I'm actually in the Arctic part of the Null Sector, and I'm going to show you quickly how to deal with the wood situation and how to deal with the no fibre situation and how to deal with the not being able to create biofuel situation that you get in the Null Sector. So if you want to build a base in the Arctic region, this is what I've done. And I'll start with wood. So the location of the dead bodies, the frozen researchers from that mission, is here. And what's here is also a bunch of building materials. So there's one small shack, and then there's three smaller shacks and a little outhouse. So I've dismantled all those and created one base. I have brought some other materials from my base just to finish it off. So as you can see, the small shack used to have this little 3 stacks of wood outside. Well, you're going to quickly run through those. But so that's the first thing I've done, is built myself a proper base with a bed and everything else. I've brought loads of stuff from my base, but that's not how I dealt with it. Okay, so step number 1. When you go back to your other base, build yourself some ice borers and bring them back here. And when you come on the next mission, bring some ice borers with you. And that's an ice borer, and you want to place it on the frozen trunk deposit, which is really close to where the researchers' base is, just here. It's a perfectly short location. E13, you can see on the map there. Okay, and of course, frozen wood and collected out of there, and then you just got to heat it up, and you can heat it up in your furnace, you can heat it up in a stove. I think you can heat it up in most things that heat up. Now, if you don't have a furnace, because you haven't brought any gear from the other base yet, you can, and you don't have any wood, so you can't heat up this wood if you don't have any wood to put in the fire. You might want to think about looking for coal. And there are some deposits. If you search the Arctic area, there are some deposits of sulfur, silica and coal, etc. But the other thing I wanted to show you was just over the top, and I'll just point it rather than go in there, but you can see over there in the distance there is a lake. It's a frozen lake. And the second ice borer that you want is there's actually a supercooled ice node to put your other borer on over there. So that's your ice borers sorted. You've got supercooled ice and you've got frozen wood. Right, next thing, where I'm pointing now, at the left hand side of that lake, there's a cave. So it's relatively close to your base. Inside that cave is a usual cave contents, so 2 different nodes of resources. I've ended up with obsidian and clay, which is a bit rubbish, but more importantly there are obviously the usual things to mine, like copper, gold, iron, titanium, platinum, etc. and coal. So bring with you a miasmic pickaxe, because obviously you get the miasmic ore and you can get 5 times as much resources. So that really does help. Okay, onto the rest of the video. So you've put your 2 ice borers. You've got some wood. You've got some frozen wood coming. So what I tend to do, I'll just kill this because they do aggro from quite a decent range if he turns around. Oh, he's heading off in the other direction. I'm going to leave him. Okay, so second thing, obviously wood can do 2 things for you. You can either put it in your biocomposter to fill your biofuel cans, or you can create tree sap with it. Now we need tree sap for the biofuel composter as well. So what I thought was, I'll use the wood to make tree sap exclusively. So I'll just make tree sap with the wood. And what I'll do is I'll build a small greenhouse on the back of my base, and I'll just grow fibre. I'll just grow fibre in it, and fibre can be used inside your biofuel composter. I'll actually top up. I've got one in here Might as well get that on the go while we're watching. So, yeah, so fibre can be used in here. And the other thing is, if you're killing, there's very few wolves around this base area, keep killing them, keep collecting the raw meat, and that can also be used in the biofuel composter. And a little trick, which I'll show you now. We'll kill that wolf now and I'll show you what I mean. Once it disappeared. So the other thing you get from skinning animals, of course, is a chance of additional rare meat. Now, it depends on what talents you've taken, but I tend to get a few different rare meats. We'll get rid of that. You can see you get raw meat, you get stringy meat, and you get giant steak. Now, you might not want that giant steak, but don't throw it away, because in the cookery bench you can convert all those items you don't want of meat into raw meat, which can then be placed into the biofuel composter. So if you don't actually need the meat, don't throw it away, don't leave it, put it in your kitchen bench. You'll see the options come up. So giant steak, can be converted into 3 raw meat. So basically, we're going to get 6 raw meat from that giant steak, 9 raw meat from the stringy meat, and that can be added to the raw meat you just got straight from the wolf. And you don't even need to let it rot. It'll take it directly. It'll take raw meat straight into. It'll turn that straight into biofuel as long as you've got tree sap. So that's why I only use the wood for making tree sap. Then I put in the fibre that I've grown, and I get the raw meat using that method to actually fill up, and it works quite well. Yeah, so that's how I do it. I might as well give you a little bit of a tour as well. I've got a mini portable generator there. Just give me a boost. I've got 2 solar panels outside, one on a different hill. I don't know if you've noticed with the solar panels, but the shadow of the mountains tends to creep in one direction or another. So if you put your solar panels somewhere else, I've got my one over here, look, you get more light. So they're actually better right between 2 mountain ranges. They're actually probably better over there and a high spot. So do think about placing your solar panels more strategically so you get more light more of the day. You get the same amount of light, but you get it for longer, so you don't have to sleep as much or wait. So I've 1 solar panel, I've got 1 wind turbine, and I've got one portable generator. Now, as you're not using everything at once, that's generally enough. You can see my power consumption there, only 5,000. I've got my electric furnace on. And yeah, it's pretty cool. If you've got the organic residue cleanser, as you can see, I've got the noxious crust from going mining in that cave, and they get converted. So every 1 noxious crust gives you 5 of the actual ore that you're after. So you can see it's going up by 5 at a time, every 1 ore. So you get a real ton of resources from that noxious ore. So I would use that as your method, because you won't have many drills around the place. That's your method for getting resources. I do have a bit of super cooled ice from the other borehole. That's what that looks like, and all you need to do with that is pop that into a furnace with some steel. So I'm yet to make some steel, but I might have got some from the base. Let's have a look. I've got some steel ingot there. We'll craft ourselves some. Obviously, we've got to put it in the first slot for it to go first. So once that titanium ingot's finished, it'll go on. So you can see now I'm going to get a cold steel ingot, and it uses 1 super cooled ice and 1 steel ingot, so I end up with 20 of those, and that lets me craft some more cold steel arrows and repair some cold steel axe and things like that. So yeah, this is my base. So as I say, if I fit it out with all the things from home, and in my next video I'll show you how I've solved the water problem. So for now, thanks for watching Hellborn Games. I'll speak to you again soon.